Welcome to the Unapologetically Unstoppable Women podcast, the show where ambition is celebrated, not silenced. Lori, Ann, and Angie are your hosts, and each week we dive into real, unfiltered conversations about women doing extraordinary things in their lives and in their businesses. Here we don't shrink to fit expectations or apologize for our success. We share stories that are inspiring, hilarious, and always authentic, because becoming unstoppable isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and join our community of women who know that no is a complete sentence and there are no limits to what we can achieve together. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Unapologetically Unstoppable Women podcast. And we are so excited to be with you today. And it is great to have all three of us back, Ann, Lori, and Angie, coming back together. We have shared throughout the past few weeks or so that, life just happens, and that's okay. But as women, we just roll with it, and it is all good, but it is always the best when all three of us come back together. So it is great to be here with you ladies today.
I know, I missed you guys so much. I mean, I was in Thailand, so I didn't think about you that much, but
Yeah.
I did miss you.
She's looking at cute elephants. She was not thinking about us.
No, no, hopefully not. No.
And Lori, you were someplace fun.
Yes, we were in Gatlinburg for a week, and so that was a lot of fun. Got some hiking in, and yeah, just Gatlinburg, walking down the street, walking down the strip, and just people watching. We were there over Halloween, and it was funny. I have to tell you. So we went out to dinner, and I thought it didn't look like the strip was all that crowded with cars. And so I said, well, let's just, instead of going the bypass, let's just go right down the strip. Oh my gosh, that was a mistake. But some of the cutest costumes. It was packed because all the stores were giving out candy to the kids and all that stuff. And it was packed with all these little goblins. And so it was fun. It was fun.
That's awesome. Well, I wish I could say I was having as much fun because I had hip surgery.
Yeah, I don't envy you.
No, no.
I was having the least amount of fun, but it's okay. It's okay. Well,
Well,
on
it
the
depends on
mend.
how the drugs were. You might have been having the most amount of fun. Who
Well,
knows?
Yeah.
I will say I had surgery on Monday and we record on Thursday. The first Thursday, I was feeling pretty good. No, I'm not going to lie about that. Yep. So yes, you will see my background's a little bit different, just temporarily. But healing well and all is good. But it's great to be back. And Anne, Lori, and I have been discussing for actually a few weeks now about the age-old question that we often get asked, who are you? And most of the time, when we're asked that question, we answer with a label, whether it's a mom or a small business owner or a volunteer or a nona or an auntie or, whatever. And we typically, that's how we answer those types of questions, like, who are you? And it's like, no, those are labels. Not who you are. And so today, you are going to get a deep dive into who Anne, Lori, and Angie are, and far beyond the labels. So, anyhow, ladies, who would like to go first?
When you said no labels, it's like that's hard to do. It's like, well, I'm flesh and blood. Oh, wait, maybe that's a label too. I don't know.
Well, it is. It's hard because it's hard to think about ourselves in such a deep way because society often will give us labels that we don't necessarily want. And one example that we were just talking about was like I am a very assertive woman. And so I have often been referred to as a bitch. And it's like, no, I reject that label. That is a label you choose to put on me. But because I stand up for myself, because I ask questions and I seek to understand, and I'm not afraid to ask hard questions, and that doesn't make me a bitch. It makes me assertive. And, so I reject that label because oftentimes we get referred to as that. And I've talked to so many women who like, oh, I wear that label as a badge of honor. And it's like,
I
I
was
mean,
just gonna I was just gonna say that. I'm like, I wear it well because
yeah,
to me that means that I'm being assertive and I'm being out of the ordinary, unexpectedly aggressive, not aggressive, but assertive. And it's like, yeah, I'll take that. If you're gonna listen to me finally, then you can call me whatever you want. I don't care because I
yeah,
know who I am inside and I know I am just sticking up for my needs. And if you don't like it, go, be gone with you.
yes.
Yeah, I
And I,
will not adopt. I don't like calling other women that. I will not adopt having it said of me. I'm like 100% not. Like
Yeah.
you can tell me why you don't like my behavior, but you do not get to call me that word ever. Ever,
I
ever.
yeah, I would never call anybody that word
no,
out of anger. Now, my sisters and I, we kind of have a thing, my one sister, we call her the bitch, but she's the one that gets stuff done.
ah,
And she wears it, and she's like, yeah, because I'm the one that's up here getting stuff done. And so to us, it's been kind of a fun label.
mhm,
But again, it's how you say it and how you mean
yes,
it. And that's for any kind of label, how you say it and how you mean it. And I would never, ever, ever call my sister or anyone the B word in an angry way, in a derogatory way.
yeah. Well, some women, they will, if their label gets challenged, like of who they are, they will start to hide that part of themselves because they don't want to be labeled a bitch. And so if they are an assertive woman and have been labeled that, and they're like, oh, well, now I need to hide part of who I am because of someone else's label that they put on me. And that's the part that I'm like, let every part of you shine. Like, and we're going to get deeper into this, but you know, there's just so much that goes. This is like we're going deep today because this is like a deep topic. But Anne, tell us, who are you?
So I am a person that absolutely thrives on a healthy sense of humor. And I can't hang around with people who don't think I'm funny. Like I actually struggle. 'Cause I'm like, dude, I'm hysterical. I might be dumb funny, but I'm super funny. So, but and I will answer any question. I will say anything. Absolutely anything. Like there's none. I don't have family secrets or I don't have this or I don't have that. You ask me a question, I will 100% answer it. So you better be careful what you ask me. And I'm proud that I'm that way. And people are like, you should keep more hidden. I'm like, well, then they need to not ask the question. I don't
Yeah,
know
if
how
you
to
don't,
help you.
Right,
yeah,
right.
if you don't want to know, don't ask, right?
Because I will tell you, there's nothing I've done that I'm ashamed of. There's nothing because I've worked through all that. There's nothing that I'm afraid of. There's nothing that somebody can say to me that's going to make me shrink back. So but I learned a long time ago, humor. I have to laugh. And I found while I was in Thailand, it drove my daughter insane because I would shove my phone in her face, going, "Oh my gosh, look at this!" while I'm laughing my butt off. The the AI parrot that like gets arrested, so he's like talking back to the cops and doing it's even better than laughing goats. And I
Oh,
was watching those. I'm trying to think of one. I can't think off the top of my head. They were so funny. Like I was laughing out loud. But just driving, because we had sometimes our excursions were like 3 hours outside of Bangkok. So we didn't have
ooh,
anything else to do. We're sitting in this van trapped. So I started flipping, and I had to stop because she was embarrassed. I was laughing so hard.
Oh
I
my
love,
gosh.
love it.
So I think
Yeah.
that, and I will take the label Christian. That is one
Mm.
that I will wear like a badge of honor, like 100% a Christian, believe that God doesn't do bad things to us, but he may not stop bad things from happening. Um, but yeah, 100%, that's the one label that I'm really, really proud of.
Yeah. Well, and that goes to the core of your morals and your beliefs, and it guides in a lot of ways how you live your life as well.
I do. And even so, this is bad. Sorry. I'm probably gonna go to hell for this one. But in the book, in the New Testament, one of the prophets or something is named Dicatus. I I struggle every time they say it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
they said.
yeah,
I'm like, I'm laughing reading the Bible. I'm pretty sure he's gonna let this one slide.
Oh yeah, yeah,
God has a, you know what though? God has a sense of humor. I am convinced
yes,
100%. Yes.
yes.
Um,
She
Oh,
must have.
I know God has a sense of humor because he put men and women together and thought it was a good idea. Like, if that doesn't show he has a sense of humor, I don't know what does.
Oh, funny.
uh,
Hmm.
uh,
So I think
well,
that, and then I will, I will save an animal. I will drive by a person in need to rescue an animal. And I
mm,
know people have their opinions about that, but I'm like, animals have zero choices. So that person, I'm sorry that they're in need, but I'm gonna go rescue that animal first. 100%, that's where my heartstrings are.
yeah,
It's an interesting way of looking at that. Humans do have a choice and animals don't.
Mhm.
yeah,
Very wise, very wise.
It's either
Absolutely.
wis or it is how I enable my reasoning for all the animals I have. I don't know. It's
for Anne's
I'm
Zoo.
like, they didn't ask for anything. They can't make choices other than very
Yeah.
basic ones, and we're the reason they're struggling. So yeah.
No.
So if they're in the Bible, if there was a cat sitting next to the Good Samaritan or the guy on the street that the Good Samaritan saved, I'd have walked right by him too and saved the cat.
But it changed the whole Bible.
Wouldn't that have been a great story though?
Yeah.
Yep. But obviously, God values animals because of Noah's
Yes.
Ark, right? Like, so he values animals. And oh, and whew, sorry, text alert going off here. Sorry if you heard that. Um, but so you're, I think you're in good company, Anne.
I think I'm trying to recreate Noah's Ark in my house in downtown Columbia, South Carolina. How can I have two of everything? I'm really
Yeah.
trying to figure it out.
I love it.
My niece, my
Mm.
oldest niece is the same. Yes, she could, that movie We Bought a Zoo, that's her
Love
dream.
that movie.
Like she that is her dream in life. Yes. Yeah. And then she would just keep adding and adding.
Yep, I wanted to be a
Um,
zoo vet. And for
mm,
a lot of reasons, I never ended up going to veterinarian school. But yeah, that was my thing. I didn't want to take care of cats and dogs. I wanted to go to the zoo. I'm like, all right, little elephant, come on.
uh, I love that. That's amazing. Anything else you want to share about who Ann Hunter is? I'm going to ask you a question because um, your last name has some significance in your life.
It does. So, and I probably won't be able to get through this without crying. So just go ahead and put that out there. I'm at the point in life where I'm going to do what I want to do if it has meaning to me, regardless of. So I don't share the same last name as my husband. Um, I have my mom's maiden name. And the reason I did that was because she died 3 years ago. I guess about 3.5 years ago now. I'm like, I don't want a tattoo. I don't like, I've got pictures of her in the house, but I wanted some connection because I feel like I lost all that. I'm like, you know what I can do? I can change my name. So I
Mm,
did. And my husband was like, I don't care. Like, I know we're married. So yeah, I've gone through the process to, it's not 100% yet because of travel and things like that. I have two last names. I'm really confused who I am sometimes. But it was super cool. And people look at me and they're like, why did you do that? I'm like, because it means something to me. And I carry that last name. I am so proud to be Ann Hunter. Like it's just this crazy amount of pride and confidence to have the same name as my grandma and my mom.
Yes. And I remember when you first told me you were going to do that, you said I am proud to be from a long line of hunter women. Yeah, I'll never forget that you said that. And yeah, and so that's, you know, and some people could argue that, your name is a label, but it's really deeper than that. There's such an emotional attachment to the hunter last name that really shapes who you are, as a hunter woman.
It is, and it goes to like the whole story of why I just started my business designing grace. And I realized very quickly I started it because of me and then had to go, okay, take me out of the picture because it's for other people. But I started it because of me and the meaning my grandma Grace has to me, the name Hunter has to me. So I made it very emotional in the logo and in the story and all of that, and then had to step outside of that and go, okay, now how do I make my mission about somebody else? Even though why I started the business is super, super personal to me and my family.
I love that. And I believe we're all connected. So sometimes when you do something for me, for yourself, it positively or negatively impacts those around you. And we're all connected.
I remember somebody
So
telling me, I had told her 3 times I wasn't going to change my logo. My logo is my grandma's hand. It's not really her hand, but my grandma's hand drawing a picture of me, and it is actually me that's on the page. And the woman was like, that's not going to resonate with anybody. And she was trying to get my business, which was so confusing. She's like, that's not going to resonate with anybody. It's too personal. Your logo needs to. And I had told her 3 times. I will change a lot about my website and the verbiage. I am not changing the logo. 100% not going to do that. And she looked at me and she said, that's between you and your therapist. And I went, wow, you
you're
will never get my
fired.
business ever.
That's just crazy.
That's
You and your,
crazy.
And she wasn't like trying to get a little bit of money. Like it was going to be, if she got the contract, it was going to be a big contract. And that comment, I was like, you didn't listen to a word I said.
Mm-mm.
My
no,
logo is the hill you're going to die on. Here's some water.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
that is crazy because
Yeah.
it's your website.
Yeah.
I can understand, giving you things to consider, but yeah, that's just insane.
And if
That's not
somebody
good
doesn't do
business.
business with me because of my logo, okay, I'm okay with that. Like, and I'll probably never
Yeah,
know. I don't think
right.
anybody's going to call me and go, "Yeah, I was going to give you $100,000 contract, but I don't like your logo." Okay.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
I think who else I'm passionate. Like if I believe in something, it would be
Sure.
so hard for you to reverse my opinion. Like if it's that deep set, you're not going to
Yeah.
change my mind.
Mhm.
Right. And
Yeah.
and 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 why would, because that's like changing a part of who you are. And so anybody that attempts to do that is not somebody that's healthy, you know, for your life or your business.
Yeah. And I still see her regularly because we're on in a couple of different organizations together. And I don't know if she remembers that she said that or if she even cares, but every time I see her, I think of that. And I'm like, still haven't changed the logo.
Wow.
Not going
And
to.
the service that you offer is so deeply personal to the
Mhm.
consumer. And so it it I mean, there's so many of emotions that get evoked by going through um rewriting your story with grace, and different things, and that picture evokes emotion. And, you know, so that's what I say.
That's what I said too. I said, okay, thanks. Have a nice day. Bye.
I'm going to have to go to your website because I don't remember. I know I've been to your website before, but I don't remember the logo. So after this, I'm definitely going to get on and look at the logo and actually see and understand what it is. Because I liked it. I just don't remember exact details of what's in it. So
Yeah, it's a picture of an old woman's
yeah,
hand drawing my face.
yeah, yeah.
So, but it just, I loved every second of it. So,
Yeah.
whatever.
And yep. And when we do, like whenever we set out on, especially for women in business, um, we have emotional attachments to our business. And that's part of what makes us successful, is um, to quote Simon Sinek, and I mean, it might be cliche, but it's so true, is, you know, start with why. It's like, why are you doing this? Why is it important for you to start this business? Why is it important for you to solve this problem? Why is it important for you to offer, this particular product or service? And if you don't have some type of emotional attachment, that's just like a job. That's, so yeah, so she didn't get it.
You didn't get any of it, but it's okay.
Yeah. Oh, any last things you want to share before Lori jumps in?
So, one of the things I always tell people is I'm super upfront with my core values because I tell them in when I'm coaching and when I'm speaking, like if you don't tell people what your core values are, they're going to decide for you what your core values are and they won't match.
Hmm.
So I'm super open, super honest, probably too much so. Like I said, sense of humor. I have a really high sense of integrity. My business will never make a dollar that I can't explain to God later.
Ah,
And I had something recently where I had a client that I was showing a house to because I also sell houses. I was showing a house to, and she was waffling as to whether or not she wanted to buy it. Well, I wanted to buy it because it would have made an awesome investment. And I could have gone in and swooped in and um, taken it away from her, but I didn't because it was more important to uphold my contract with my client than whatever few $1,000s I was going to make if I bought this house and flipped it myself. And my contractor that I partner with, he's like, you know what, Ann? Most people wouldn't have done what you did. They would have screwed their
Right.
client and went and bought the house, and she never would have known that I was the one who bought it. He's like, he said, because of that, I will continue to work with you
Man.
because that's not what most people would do. They would look at the money they could make, and we could have made a decent amount of money on it. But I'm like, nope, I'm going to wait for her to figure out what she's doing, and then we'll go from there. And I was just super open and honest, not with her, but with him. Like, we're not doing
sure.
anything until I know what she's doing. So I really, really believe in integrity. I believe that every choice you make, you have to explain to God later. And I make decisions based around that. Like some stuff, I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to explain that one. I'm not sure how. But like that's usually little stupid stuff, like why I cussed somebody when I was driving in the car or something because they did something stupid. But the big stuff, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that because I have no justification to talk to him about later.
Hmm.
So that is definitely my highest form of decision making process.
Yeah,
Love
that's
that.
beautiful. That's beautiful. I wish that was the norm.
Don't you though? I mean, come on. Look what's going on in the world right
Right?
now. Oh
Exactly.
my gosh.
There's a lot of people that, as Ricky would say, you got some splaining to do.
You got some splaining to
Uh-huh.
And I
do.
want to be a fly on the wall with popcorn and a drink in my hand because it's going to be good.
Right?
It's going to be a lot of ba ba dee ba ba
Uh,
ba.
well, you see, this one time at band camp.
Exactly.
That's right.
So that's me in a nutshell. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning. That's what makes me cry. It's what I'm passionate about.
Yeah, love it. And that's why we love you.
Oh,
Just,
Yes,
just
yes,
one of the
absolutely.
many reasons, I should say, or I should say a few of the many reasons why. Lori, we're all wanting to know, who are you?
It's difficult. So I'm glad Anne went first because she's good at, doing the no labels. So I do I also have a high standard of integrity. And even when it was difficult, when I was working in corporate and my boss was asking me to do things that did not resonate with me because I didn't think it was ethical. For instance, pulling my services from a small client in order to work for a potentially large client. I know that's important to the company, but I didn't think it was fair to my client for two reasons. One, they've been a long-standing good customer, and I was like in the middle of a project. The time it would have taken me to make a transition and get somebody else in there who could do the job. It just to me, it didn't make sense in my heart. So, and you talk about God. Well, I go with my heart. And to me, God, heart,
Yep.
those are labels. um, but so I just had to look to my heart and say, can I do this and feel good about myself? Can I do this? And if I can't, then it's like it's a no-go. And I went to my boss and I could have been fired. I mean, I had no idea if he was going to fire me or not, or say, you either do it or you're fired, because a lot of bosses will do stuff like that. And I was blessed that he was also a God-fearing human and Christian. Um, and whether it's God-fearing Christian, it's he had a good heart as well, and he understood. And so after the conversation, he said, I agree, Lori, we'll find somebody else to do the other job. So things like that's just one example of the integrity I feel, especially when it comes to clients, friends, family. And I shouldn't say working on integrity to myself, because I do have a lot of integrity to myself, but a lot of times I will say yes to someone that I will do XYZ when in my heart I'm like, I really didn't want to do. I mean, it wasn't anything bad, but it's just like, I really need to take care of myself. So I'm really getting better about having that self-integrity and standing up for myself, saying, it's just, I just can't do that today. I choose not to do that today. Um, but and a big thing for me is heart. I I love giving hugs. I love, and as you said, I love to laugh. That's why I love the three of us getting together. And I love this podcast, but I love giving hugs. I love getting to know people. I love to get to know, I can't tell you how many times I have labeled someone as oh, I don't like you, or and then to get to know them and find out they're an amazing person. So when we're not getting to know someone and we're labeling them in some way or another, I mean that taught me a lot of lessons. So I try to be very open about who I meet for the first time and give them the opportunity to show their true selves,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So yeah, I I like yoga. I like meditation. I'm trying to think.
Well, with you, Lori, one of the things, there's two words that always come to mind whenever I think of you, and that is peace and heart centered. because you are so heart-centered. I mean, that's truly who you are. And
Yeah.
then there's this calming peace about you that that you not only when you're working with your clients, you're showing them how to have that with
Mm.
themselves, but you're also role modeling that. And you have like this calming, peaceful presence about you. And I think because so much of your heart shines, that it just offers this like, you know.
Well, thank you for that.
That's funny that you said peace because it was the exact word I was thinking. I'm like, when I think of Lori, I think peace.
See, because
Aw,
and that's your essence. That's like
aw,
who you are, beyond all of the
that's sweet.
labels. And yeah, and you part of when you said the word, having that self integrity, it's granting yourself that peace that you give to others.
Mm.
Is
Yes.
the way that my outside brain kind of like looks at that.
It's kind of interesting. Several times in my corporate career, I felt like I was, just like agitated and all that stuff. And like working with a challenging client, and then I'll walk out of the room, like the sales rep would be there too. And he's like, how did you stay so calm? And I'm like, I didn't feel very calm, but I guess that's, yeah, I like calm. I like peace. That's why I like my meditation and yoga and being in nature. We were just in Gatlinburg hiking, and oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful and lovely. And that brings me, that energizes my peace, yeah, just being,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, getting out of the rat race and just being.
Yep. That's
And
it's
you're right. I do hope to share that, because peace is in every one of us.
yeah.
Peace is in every one of us. And it's our brain that tells us that we have to, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to be this and you have to be that. And you only have to be yourself. And that's the important thing. And I find when I'm being my true self, that is when I'm feeling really, really peaceful. And just, I don't know about you guys, but I forgot that we were going to do this today. I didn't have anything prepared. I didn't think it through. So again, Anne, thank you so much for going first.
I'll be the example of either what or what not to do. I don't know which.
What to do, definitely. Yes. So yeah, it's just sometimes we are trained to be the one who is uh, showy. It's like it's the social thing to do, to be seen. And I'm happy just not being seen. Not that I don't want to be seen, but I don't want to be somebody I'm not in order to be seen,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. And therefore, and the reason I'm mentioning this is because there for a while, especially when I was younger and in school, I was so quiet and I was so spiritual. And I grew up in a Catholic, or went to Catholic schools, and the nuns loved me because I was so spiritual. Well, good Lord, when you're in the sixth, seventh grade, that is the worst thing that could happen, is have the nuns love you. Come on,
That's
are you kidding me? That's
that's
like,
yeah, social suicide there.
yes, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, I had to kind of shift in order to no longer be loved. I shouldn't say no longer be loved by the nuns, but you know, but that's how society um, carves us into what we believe other people think we should be. So I'm glad I'm at a place in my life where that's not necessary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, yes. I love that yes. To yeah, don't be one of one, right? Like be one of one. I just think that message is so important because the society tells us, oh, to be part of the crowd, to do this and that, and people will be a chameleon and they will shift and alter and show up differently depending on the time and the place and the setting and the people they're surrounded by, and I'm like, that's a lot of work.
That's exhausting.
That's exhausting.
Yeah.
Saying
Yeah.
it, I'm like, oh God, sounds terrible. Just be you. Just be
Yeah.
one of one. You were perfectly made to just be you.
Mhm.
And all of us were like, and even twins have different fingerprints, and they can have the identical DNA and all, but they still have their own identity. They have different fingerprints. And just be one of one. And I think so many times our labels and expectations, whether they come from external or sometimes we have internal expectations that put us in situations where we think we have to not be who we are or hide certain parts of who we are in order to fit in or conform or not be seen or whatever, pick a scenario. And I just, yeah, I see that. I mentor like young girls in high school, and I see some girls doing that, and I love it when there's a handful that choose not to, and I'm like, yes, yes,
Yes.
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 It's not nearly enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And because genuinely, at least it's been my experience, when I am me, when I am showing up as me, that's when I
Mhm.
have the most fun. It's when I'm the most relaxed. It's when I
Yeah.
absorb the most, like if I'm, sitting in a learning situation or if I'm getting to know someone. And can just be present with them because I don't have to think about who do I need to be. I just need to show up, and I can spend all my energy getting to know them and understanding them, and you know and building those important relationships, and all those different kinds of things, because I don't have to think about who am I, you know
Right.
So
and
that's a great segue. So who are you?
yeah.
Yes, exactly. Good job, Anne.
uh, I am me, like all of me. Um, so I am a person who is has consistently been shaped by my life's experiences. And so like I started kindergarten when I was 4. My parents really needed me out of the house, I'll just say. And I was a very young 4. And my hair is falling, Um, and but I really thought that I've had this big personality since then. So you can only imagine me as a 4-year-old. But Farmer in the Dell was the thing that we played in gym all the time. And I couldn't even get chosen for the pig. Like never got chosen because I was this roly poly. I was as big around as I was tall, as I was wide, and I was this chubby little thing, and I had some congenital issues that they weren't I was in this is in the early 70s, so they weren't diagnosed yet, but now in retrospect, now that I understand, so many other things make sense from when I was growing up, but I had some limitations. And the kids, I never got chosen ever. And I never understood why, because like Anne, I'm funny as hell. Like I'm really funny. Just ask me. I will tell you how funny I am. And so um and I never could understand why I like never got chosen, because I was always nice to everyone. And so, but I just kept, I was like kind of, I don't know, blissfully ignorant to what my peers, they were choosing, like the farmer was always the cutest boy in the class, and he always picked the cutest girl in the class to be his wife. And, so it was all this popularity and, that type of thing. And I was like, I didn't know I wasn't popular. Like I was just me. Cause I was like blissfully ignorant. And this went on forever. Like even in high school, like, um I was friends with everybody, and there were, cliques and stuff in high school, and I never understood all that. I was like, I don't get it. Like if you're nice to me, I'm nice to you, you respect me, I respect you. This is and it didn't matter where they lived, it didn't matter their background or the choices they were making. Like I was just friends with everyone, blissfully ignorant. Because once again, I don't know if I was just too stupid to realize, I've got to change who I am to be popular and all this other stuff. And so I never really understood until I got to corporate America. And then like the light bulb went on, and I was like, oh, because I was working for Rubbermaid, which was a Fortune 500 company at the time, and the headquarters were located in my town that I live in. And I would go into these meetings with these VPs, and I would just start talking like they did. And I'm like this 24-year-old girl, no, education. I mean, I graduated high school, and I would just start talking, and they'd be like, yeah, it's not your place to talk. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm here, I'm in the meeting, why can't I talk? Then I learned. That's when, and I got sat down a lot by different bosses. And they were like, Angie, you can't do that. And I was like, why? Like, I'm just being me, like, don't ask, like, Ann, don't ask a question. Oh, like, why do I'm sitting in the same room as them. Why do they get to speak and I didn't speak? Like, I didn't understand it. And so I just and then I realized I was not happy in like those types of jobs or in those types of scenarios because I couldn't be me. And I was like, don't, like, what? I don't understand, because I just didn't know how to be anything else. Whether I was too ignorant or blissfully dumb, I don't know, whatever it was, but I just couldn't understand. And I'm amazing. Why would you not want me to show up as myself?
I love that.
Like, and so I always learned that I had to be the boss. That was the one thing I learned about myself. So whenever I did go to college and had jobs, it's like if I couldn't be the boss, that job was not for me, because I wanted to be able to I deserve to speak in any room just like anybody else. And everyone who I supervised, same. Like there was no, I'm the boss, you must listen to me. It was everybody talk. We're in this together. Like, because that's who I am. That's part of me. And I didn't like it when I didn't have those opportunities. So I wasn't going to exclude anyone from having those opportunities. And I said that everyone's an over exaggeration, but I had people knocking down the doors trying to come into my units because of the way of I will say, my leadership skills and stuff. But once again, I didn't understand. I just thought because they liked me. Like I didn't understand that it was deeper than that. But it was because of who I am. And I never, like, I would be out at different things and I would be with the people I supervised. I never said I'm the supervisor and these are the people I supervise. It's like, these are my coworkers, you know, like, because they're my coworkers, right? Like it didn't matter who was a supervisor. I mean, that stuff didn't matter to me. And so I've I everything I do, I blame my dad. But my dad always taught me, like, my maiden name's Gosser, and much like Anne, I wear it proudly. I have a big tattoo on my leg that says Gosser, because I love my maiden name. I'm proud of my maiden name, and I'm Angie Gosser, and I'm just me. And I don't know how to be anybody else. I don't want to be anybody else. And I live by my values and my morals, and and I'm proudly a Christian, and that has shaped a big part of who I am, and how that do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I take that very seriously. And so if someone's like treating me poorly, I say, you don't have permission to treat me that way. And people are so taken back from that. Or you don't have permission to speak to me that way. And they're like, well, who do you think you are? Well, I'm Angie freaking Gosser. That's who I think I am. Like, what do you mean? I'll tell you who I am. That's me. And you don't have permission to speak to me that way. And if you speak to me that way again, I'm leaving. Period. Because I just don't tolerate those things. And so I've really been blessed in a lot of ways to have been blissfully ignorant to a lot of things growing up, and just staying true to who I am. But like I said, I blame my dad, because he instilled in me so much that you're Angie Gosser. There's not a problem out there that you can't solve. There's always a solution. Always. You might not like the solution, and it might be the longer way around, or it might be the harder way, or the dirtier way, or you might need to bring people along with you, but there's always a solution to any problem, but you just got to figure it out. And never once was I ever asked to not be me, and well, at Rubbermaid, they asked me to not be me. And I was like, you got me twisted, because that's not, I don't know how to do that. So, so I worked there for 8 years, and yeah, and I just spent more time making friends and drinking beer than anything else. So it was not my career path. But, so anyhow, but that's, just experiences have shaped, I've had some different trauma things that have happened throughout my life. And I'm like, those are experiences that don't define me. They're just things that happened in my life. Like I refuse to be labeled as a victim. And I do like the term survivor better than victim. But even a survivor, it's like that it was a moment in time of an experience, but I'm still me. Like, it didn't alter who I was. It didn't alter how I showed up, or because I'm just still me.
Yeah.
So that got a little deep.
I love that. And you didn't say anything that shocked me. Like there's nothing I'm like, oh, I didn't know that about Angie. Nope, I already knew all that.
Yeah.
Like, you're
Yeah.
so just authentic and everything. That
Yep.
I'm like, yep, I knew that.
Yeah.
Authenticity is definitely one of my highest values, because because it's such a gift, I think. And it's a gift that I truly believe it's a gift not that God gave me by choosing my dad to be my dad. Of I get to be me, and that is a privilege to be me. And I'm freaking Angie Gosser, and I'm unstoppable. And even having hip surgery, it's like, okay, I can't do things like I normally do, but I got tools, right? Like, I got my little grabber, and
They're purple, and it's
and they're
purple.
purple. And I had to make some adjustments in my house, and whatnot. But there's a solution, and part of my hip surgery is genetics, and I'm going to have my left hip done in the spring, but it's all part of my genetic condition, clear back from birth. And It just is what it is. And so, anyhow,
And I do believe that we are faced with challenges for a reason. And typically, the reason is either an opportunity for growth or maybe a sign saying this might not be the right route for you, you know? And we have to look at these challenges, I believe. We have to look at these challenges and say, okay, is this something that I can grow from? Or is this something that, yeah, that's a route I just don't want to go down because
mm,
it's not, nothing good is there for me. So it's because we tend to look at talking about labels, labeling something as good or bad. I had a bad day. I had a good day. Whatever we label it, but even the alleged bad teaches us something, or we grow from it, or it teaches, or we learn after a while to steer away from that situation or even that person, because there are some people that I love now in a way of I understand they're human, they have a right to be who they are. They're just not my somebody I want to hang out with.
yes.
And so I don't.
Maturity is a fabulous thing, isn't it?
Who are you
100%.
calling mature? Who are you calling mature?
They say you were old.
Wise, wise. We'll say wise.
Wise. I'm teasing.
All right, so I'm going to challenge you both. So,
Uh-oh.
Lori, I'm going to start with you so you don't have time to think about it. Tell us something about you that would shock us.
Oh, that would shock you, shock you, shock you. Oh, gosh, I can't say that.
Nope.
Okay, no. Okay. It may or may not shock you, but I inadvertently, without realizing it, mooned a boss of mine.
Yes.
Oh, we had some fun. And I didn't know I did until I was approaching him. And yes, it was a guy approaching him. And he said, Lori, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he said, turn around. Oh, now, and that's how I knew. He's like, I was on, yeah, he's like, I was there when you dropped it. So, yes.
That's awesome. And mine would be I may be a little bit of an extrovert, maybe. Just saying.
I said something that would shock us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what would shock you is I absolutely need some alone time every day. Even if it's just 30, 45 minutes, I just need complete alone time. Um, and that shocks most people because I'm so social and outgoing, but I need that. I must have a tiny part of an introvert in there that just needs that peace and quiet and temporary isolation. What about you?
So, for
Yes.
as extroverted as I am, I actually test exactly 50-50 introvert extrovert. But I just
Really?
err way on the side of extrovert. But same, I need a little bit of downtime every day. It used to be sleep was enough, and now as I've gotten older, I'm like, nah, I kind of like sitting in the corner of the couch, snuggled under my blanket and just hanging out. But yeah, I test exactly 50
That's
50, but
something.
you would never know.
So, so what kind of test was that? Was that like a Myers?
It was the Enneagram, so it
Oh,
combines the
okay.
Myers-Briggs and something else to,
Okay.
to
Okay.
get that.
Yeah. Because I
I
am an
also
introvert, which is probably not shocking to you guys. I
yeah,
am an introvert.
I also test like a male in trying to think what the category, maybe aggressiveness. Like I have high 80s aggressive score,
Mm,
which is usually the male zone, and I have like low 30s calmness score. Again,
mm,
usually more male.
interesting. That is interesting.
Explains a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
But most
Well,
people think like they're like, oh my gosh, you're so extroverted. I'm like, actually, I'm pretty even keeled.
yeah,
I don't act like it.
it's just
I,
all part of
yeah,
who we are.
yeah. I always say I'm an introvert by nature and an extrovert by job requirement because my job,
So,
in order for me to be good at my job, I had to learn how to talk to people and carry on a conversation.
yeah. Yep. That makes sense. Yeah. Yep. But well, this has been such a great
Yeah.
conversation, and audience, we hope this gave you a little bit of insight into who we are, and we would love to know who you are. And actually, I'm going to be putting a resource in the chat that it is free to click on the link, and it will help you walk through and really start to peel back those labels and understand who you are far beyond the labels, and would love it if you shared those with us, and we would just love to get to know you, and who you are, as an unapologetically unstoppable woman. So great
And
show
if
today.
you want to have updates and what we're doing next, be sure and subscribe to our channel.
Yes,
Yes.
for that. Yes, yes, I'm glad Anne brought that up. So this has been great, ladies.
I
Always.
missed you. I'm glad we finally did this.
I
Yes,
know. Excellent.
indeed.
Excellent.
All right. Until next time, this is the Unapologetically Unstoppable Women podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Unapologetically Unstoppable Women podcast. If today's conversation fired you up, inspired you, or made you laugh out loud, don't forget to hit subscribe and share this episode with another unstoppable woman in your life. Remember, you don't have to apologize for your ambition, and you never have to shrink to fit someone else's expectations. Keep showing up, keep breaking barriers, and keep living life on your own terms. Until next time, stay unapologetic, stay unstoppable.